Hello everybody, this is Goose and Fox coming at you with a 700 cost rated match in the Destiny Gundam. We're going to be on Arctic Base for this match here, and our team is going to be running a full AU setup for this round. AU has been pretty big for these last couple weeks of GBO2 on console. Last week we had the release of the Burning Gundam, and this week we've had the release of the Freedom Gundam. And both of these suits used to be exclusive to the Steam version of GBO2, but when Golden Week came around, they announced they were going to be adding both of these suits to the console side. So we are getting to a point in GBO2 where PC and console have, a lot of these same suits to use. Really, the exception at this point being just a lot of like the 2-month gap units, like how PC and console, there's kind of like a 2-month gap between them. PC is 2 months behind us when it comes to console releases, and it's even weirder because when an AU suit comes out on PC, it ends up delaying what suit was initially supposed to come out that week. I think this week PC got the X1 full cloth, so it's a really weird system. I've never completely understood it. And really, aside from those units that are in that 2-month limbo, the other suit that we haven't gone on console yet is the Wing Zero TV version, which I caught myself this time. I called it the Wing Gundam the last time I talked about it. I always end up mistaking the Wing Gundam and the Wing Zero, and then we have like the Endless Waltz version we have to consider. There's a lot of just Wing variants. It gets very hard to remember them sometimes, especially for someone like me. I'm not really that big on Wing. I'm not super knowledgeable on Wing, so especially for me, it's like very confusing. But yeah, Wing Zero TV version is the last AU suit that we're missing here on the console side. So they haven't announced yet when they are going to add that, at least as of the recording of this video. Hopefully we do get it sometime soon, since they did release both the Freedom and the Burning at the same time here for console. So, maybe sometime soon. But yeah, not really too sure if I'm going to get any of these AU units. I was kind of considering the Freedom, but it's kind of like, I'd rather just save my tokens instead. And that's because I have the unit that I'm using here, the Destiny Gundam. Destiny Gundam I got when it initially released, and it was a unit I absolutely adored using. I always found this unit to be a really good all-rounder when it comes to its range and melee, has really good mobility and some really amazing skills as well, so just a really fun unit to use. And recently, with the release of the Burning and the Freedom, I have been trying to get back into 700. I went on this hiatus when the Barbatos Lupus came out because, even now the Barbatos Lupus still really annoys me, especially if it's using the rocket grenades, the optional primary that it has. Yeah, I still don't agree that the sub-weapon for that should have been a heavy stagger, especially since it fires both rockets from under the arms, so even if you have like maneuver armor that should negate the heavy stagger into a normal stagger, because it is 2 rockets, I believe it does end up pretty much punching through maneuver armor, which makes a lot of bigger mobile suits just kind of worthless to use. Nightingale is a big example of that. I tried to get some good rounds with the Nightingale when that came to the RT store, and it was just impossible to use with the Barbatos around because it could just hit you with the rockets and heavy stagger you, and then just pretty much beat you to death. So yeah, Barbatos is a unit I've talked about a lot in the past, but that's been sort of my big reason for avoiding 700 for so long. And luckily I should mention too, since I just saw it there activate for the Barbatos on the enemy team, it does have the Ox Power skill as well, where you get like the super increase in defense when you get like a low amount of health. That is something else I don't think the Barbs needed, but anyway, yeah, looking at 700 here, I have been trying to play again because of the Burning and the Freedom. Tried to see if maybe that would add some more suit variety to the game, and luckily it has. And hey, also speaking of suit variety, there's a Unicorn on the enemy team. That is a unit I have not seen in a very long time, so really cool to spot one here. But yeah, with the release of the Burning and the Freedom, I feel like there has definitely been more variety in these recent times. It could also be because these units are new to the console side, so when a new suit comes out there are going to be a lot of people using it, but it does seem like these suits have some pretty good staying power, especially since before adding them to console they did end up buffing both the Burning and the Freedom. They ended up buffing them quite a bit actually, I believe. I don't remember if Steam got these adjustments at the same time. I believe they might have, but at least on console, yeah, they did adjust these units, and it does look like they are performing really well, so I do hope both the Freedom and the Burning kind of stay for a while. It definitely beats, seeing a team full of 4 Barbatos Lupuses running around with nothing but heavy staggering rockets. I'd rather just fight against these units and rather have some good team variety set up than, just like the Lupus. And I've also been trying to take out some other suits as well. I've mainly been using the Destiny because this suit just holds up really well for 700, but I have been trying to use some of the other units I've gone for 700 as well. I did get the F90, which I believe also came out in the RT store when the Nightingale did, so I have been trying to get some rounds with that as well. Hopefully, someday I'll be able to make a video on that, because the F90 is an interesting unit, especially for where it is now in GBO2, but yeah, I think going back to what I mentioned in my Psycho Bawu adjustment video, I mentioned I was very hopeful for where GBO2 is going, and if the status of 700 is anything to go by, it does feel like 700 is a lot better than where it was in the past when the Barbatos came out. I say in the past because a long time ago. I don't think the Barbs is that old, but it just does feel like a massive improvement compared to where we were when it was only the Barbatos, so yeah, 700 has that going for it. Really, the only big issue cost now, I feel like, is 750 with the V2. V2, I believe, is still considered somewhat problematic for how strong it is, though we've had that one 750 General that came out before the Burning that I do not remember the name of at the moment, but it was a suit from Victory. We do have that also came out that seems to be able to keep the V2 in check from what I've heard, so maybe that will do something, even though I don't think we really should have to be at a point where we have to have a new, stronger suit to counter a stronger suit. Really, there should be some proper adjustments made for the V2 if it still ends up proving to be an issue, but yeah, hopefully 750 we kind of see some type of resurgence there as well, where maybe some new suits will come out that will change what is used at the cost, because again, 750, the variety there is just not too good if it's just a full team of V2s, making it really hard to just play anything else. So yeah, let's see, we're nearing the last few seconds of the match here. Yeah, it's going to be timeout mission over. I really don't think I expected this video to be a bit more of a rant about 700 and 750 than anything, but yep, that's going to be a mission complete. And let's see how we did here with the Destiny Gundam. And top individual and top in assist for the team, and first place with 6 kills and 3 loss. So yeah, not too bad of a match there in the Destiny Gundam, and that is going to do it for the round there. And yeah, a big couple weeks for AU suits here with the Burning and the Freedom. And I am hoping that both of these suits do stay a while. I prefer fighting these units over the Barbatos Lupus, especially when we were at those times where there was like 4 on a team. So anything to dumb down the numbers of the Barbatos Lupus, I am here for. But even with the Destiny Gundam here, still a really good all-rounder unit that is, able to get really great performance at 700. So does make me wish we could maybe go back and buff some of the older 700s. I definitely think there are some units that could use some tweaking with where 700 kind of is now. But other than that, still kind of feeling the same as I did in my Psycho Bawu video that I made last week. Still feeling pretty hopeful for the future of GBO2. I feel like things have been actually getting somewhat better recently. Again, with the state of 700 just being a lot more fun to play, at least for me, that is going to vary from player to player, but at least for me, it does feel like things have been a lot better ever since I went on my 700 hiatus, so that is pretty good to see. But yeah, that's going to be everything I have for this video here. Comment down below what you think about the Destiny Gundam or the new Burning and Freedom on console. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.